tomato.
Hey guys and girls, we're here from Gundam TCG. Just back to you for another video. I guess you could say part 2 of me coaching my friend who's a beginner, barely plays TCGs. This is probably his first real official one. But yeah, let's get started. As you know, he plays blue-white. Deck list will be shown here. Blue-white Justice, sorry. Probably one of the more simpler versions, but the cleaner versions. But yeah, let's get started. Okay. Let's turn the speed up first. Oh. No, before we look into the next hand, and hopefully you applied what he learnt from the last session, but with this session, let's just go through it. So this hand, only one blocker, two mid game blockers, one show resolve, one even bombardment. Wait, I need to check who decides to go first or second, because in my head that's really important to me as well. Okay. So they decided to go second. So usually in a competitive environment like U-types or regionals or nationals, I would just assume that they are really well known for their game plan. So in my head, a big consideration I take into is if they choose second, they're probably playing some control deck, unless their control deck is okay to blind first against aggro, because you usually do want to take away aggro's first curve, but not at the expense of your curve. As in, like, let's say you play like low levels of Zawart, then you would definitely want to go second, right? But because they made us go first, then I would just assume they're playing control, which is the risk I take, and if they're not, then I would just gladly try to play around that. So if it was me and I took that into consideration, then if I'll look at this hand and go, one show resolve, good against control, two Air Strikes, good in both control and aggro decks, one Zawar, always good as a starter, and probably the factor that makes my decision is a naval bombardment. So naval bombardment sucks against control in the early game, unless they get an early link or some weird situation comes up where they don't rest as a wart or kill you as a wart. Or it's really strong against aggro's Gundam curve. So in my head, I'm thinking I could, like, I wouldn't be mad if I mulliganed into this because I have Zawart and Navy Bombardment to deal with the Gundam curve, and I have 10 other blockers plus striker packs to draw into it anyway. So I actually would keep this hand, but there is a very big argument not to because it's a little risky as well. It's just that I really value show resolve when I play against control, because if you don't see this, especially in the Justice version, in the control matchup, it can get like a little dicey if they just out show resolve you. So that's the risk I'm willing to take, especially like in general and at like a competitive setting. I honestly don't mind going keeping these type of hands if they make it go first. But yeah, you could also mulligan this, like I said. You could say that like my mindset is very like high risk, high reward, because obviously if it's against aggro, obviously if they go second and it's aggro, then sometimes I will have a greedy hand. But it's not like I keep an ultra greedy hand. It will be just like a halfway aggro. Like I'll still try to always have like two blockers or one blocker plus like one hand trap. And if I don't have either of those, then I won't keep it like ultra greedy hand. I'll just make sure to always have a blocker at least. Anyway, this hand is pretty terrible. Yeah, this has a this sounds really bad, but that's fine. Especially against aggro, which, you know, okay, first he went second and is aggro, but third he cracked his egg space for this 1-1, which is obviously not in the meta. So in this game, in my opinion, you're only going to lose to bad bricks or like really slow hand that you might get into. Oh yeah, you're just unlucky. Because in my opinion, like no offense, this person doesn't seem as experienced or brand new. Oh, or is new to the game. So here, okay, just play one drop and hit attack. You kill base and you got a Mare. It's pretty sweet. Oh my god, I think one blocker, you honestly like stabilize so hard. Yep, naval bombardment. Any doesn't really matter. Just obviously not the Rick Dom. Attacks. Okay, can we get a Kira for your sword strike, please? Oh, alright. Not bad, not bad. Because if you don't have this, you got them already, kill one thing, and you'll be on 0 so quick. But at least this can recover or something. So yep, attack. Pass back up. Reduce this by 1. Yep, cool. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's hope he has no way to properly get rid of this. That's what do I? Yep. Oh, nice. Very nice. Oh, do it there. Okay, I think you were a little too hasty in blocking. Let's just think about the situation first. You have all the time in the world. They're playing aggro in an official. Like this game would be 5 minutes in. You still have like 25 minutes left. It's not always obvious to block because let's just think about it more clearly, right? I'll try to break it down. If you block, this gets a live and it still breaches, right? This has damage, but you save a Sword Strike. Sword Strike can attack, bounce back one thing continuously, so you get the continuous pressure. But if you don't block, you let the trade happen. That's Rick Dom is gone. Next turn, you now have a unit that could attach a Mare to, because this unit cannot have a second pilot on it. So you can go Amare, rest one of these, swing into it, and Gundam Mare, rest one into other things, swing into it. And then you will have, that will be a perfect usage of 5 resources, as well as protect your life a bit. This play is probably better because there's like the continuous bouncing and pressure that it gives your opponent, because they can always it will always -1 a unit on the board, but it doesn't get rid of it as it only bounces back to his hand. And if that's the case, then if you mouse back the 1-drops, they can continuously just keep flooding the board and keep the board standing when you're on 1 or 0 shield. And I don't think that's what we want, because what's going to happen is it just gets to a point where they have 5 things floating and you could only bounce back 1 anyway, and that's still not enough, right? Unless you have one, but you have the third Amare, so maybe you can afford to keep this alive and keep bouncing back the pressure. But we'll just get to a point where I think it might be over flooded. But let's say you let these go, and you go to double Mare play. They only have 1 unit, and then 3 cards in hand. And now if you draw 1 blocker, and you play a Mare, then you can kill that. Or you play the Sword Strike and go Mare, sorry, if you can't draw blocker, and you kill the unit that he just played. Both situations means that you have to hope they can only spam 1 unit somehow. Or sorry, 2 units after you clear the board. But Sword Strike, the unit keep coming back. So if you want to do the Sword Strike play, you have to get rid of the Maxwell Duo, because the 1-drop is just too easy for them to bring back alive. This all gets cancelled out if you draw a base, so obviously it really depends on what you draw next. But in this case, I just use a blocker for free, and this dies. Dies. Trade. Amare on 1, pay 1. That's 2 Amares. Pay the Amare. Yeah, honestly, I think I would just do the trade. I think the continuous pressure to bounce back one unit is nice. But if they're so cheap, they could just play it back for free. And leave it standing means that you have to keep contesting the standing unit, especially when this is gone. If they somehow manage to get rid of this next turn, then you just save them a unit. Yeah, I think I'll just get rid of this, because if I get rid of this now, go attach to striker pack, kill. Yeah, I'll get rid of it now for sure, just because that striker pack will continue living being a blocker as well. Yeah, so this play was like a little like the logic is there, and it's definitely nice to have, but I would value the blocker over this one right now, just because Amare into blocker makes it a 5/4. It'll attack into one of the low drop stuff, making a 3/3, and then it becomes a blocker later on as well. So even if they spam bodies, you have a blocker and you have 1 shield. And if you get to the 7th turn, then you can play Phoenix, Justice, and stabilize anyway. But if you can't stabilize with the blocker, then you don't have a additional protection, then they can just flood the board, especially with the stuff that bounced, and then potentially kill you. But this is like taking, like, this isn't taking like account how unlucky you've been in this game, and the percentages of you can drawing to early blocker or early base or any of the base of blockers, because any of those situations will save you, and the 2 minutes of past yapping would be like somewhat irrelevant. But yep, he just attacked into your base, and now let's say he plays more 1 drops, you can only get rid of 1, right? So you have to have a blocker. Yeah, but if that thing died and you only got rid of 1, at least you have a striker pack that is healthy. You got cooked anyway. That was probably a long explanation, but that's like the decision making you could decide on and pivot to. But anyway, unlucky game. Shit happens. We'll go next. Wait, what the? Ah, there you go. Ooh, Ace Pilot, cool. Damn, that's a pretty good hand. Wait, who decided? Oh. Alright, they decided to go. Oh, whoa. They decided to go first. I'll just keep this. You have strike. You have 2, 4. A really nice top decking potential of Amare Gundam or El Strike Kira. So I'll just keep this. Please keep. Okay. I don't know why you mulliganed. I don't know why. You have to take account if they want to go first or second, because usually I have more resolve of thinking it's aggro if they go first compared to me thinking they play control if they go second. If they chose to go first, I'm always going to assume it's aggro, and I'll just keep the Sam. You have a Rick Diaz into striker pack. You have 3 to 4 turns to draw into Kira or Gundam Amare, or to draw into more blockers. This is a hand you definitely keep, because you have 2 cards that are good early, 2 generic good cards. You only have technically 1 bad card against white if they are control, but regardless, you still have 4 strong cards against control. So you have 2 strong cards overall, and then 2 top decking potential chances to make your hand 10 times stronger, and you also have freedom for the control decks. So that is definitely a keep. I do not know why you mulliganed that. Now you have no early blockers. All 4, you do have Sword Strike Kira, not bad. Maybe bombardment if you do see blocker, not bad. Oh yeah, that hand was like stacked. Okay, June Sword, that's cool. Wow, never punish. Cool. Azor into striker pack, very nice. What the heck is that? Oh, it's just vanilla, okay. You just put like, okay, the logic makes sense. You wanna be efficient with your resources, so you just play the Soul Strike, right? That's fair enough. But I want value potentially out of Soul Strike and Kira, as well as a chance to top deck into another Kira for L Strike Kira. Okay, so essentially, you play this because it's efficient in terms of resources, which is true. However, and you probably think that I have L Strike Kira anyway. However, you could potentially draw into another Kira, and this becomes 10 times more useful with the second Kira. There are times where you actually want the ongoing effect of this bounce compared to just a one-time bounce here. Especially against aggro, they usually play 2/2s, or Torquis, and then Kira Soul Strike becomes 10 times more efficient in that situation, just because they have an urgency to deal with the Soul Strike, because they obviously don't want the stuff to keep bouncing. Compared to L Strike, it can only bounce once. In addition to being a blocker that you could just park safely later on, it does get value out of Kira, but this is completely useless for Kira. So with that information in hand, I would rather have the L Strike Kira later to pair together to bounce something as I hit a rested unit. And you could make an argument that this could attack next turn, that's true, but this could attack in the same time frame as you linking anyway, which you have the available link for. So playing the striker pack here gives you 2 blockers, a 3/2 and a 2/4, right? And it gives you more openings in the future if you top deck a second Kira, and if you don't, you can just play L Strike by itself. And you could wait until a good opportunity comes up against aggro where they have a 2/2 and they have something sideways. You can go Sword Strike, Kira, kill the rest of this thing, and then bounce back one of the 2/2s, and now they are pressured to deal with your Sword Strike that might have a L Strike and Zorwat defending it, depending on what they do, or if they just leave everything standing. So what I'm trying to say is that Sword Strike can get way more value than here, and you could increase the chances to make your hand more stronger with the potential chance of getting more Kiras. Okay, so it's red blue. Okay, maybe not aggro. Oh, nice. Just okay. If they play Show Resolve, you can probably afford to play Show Resolve here to match, and you can leave one for Naval Bombardment. Okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Especially when you have a chance to get Airstrike Kira. Red blue. Would I swing off this? Nah. We can just chill. Good chat. Okay. Ah, sweet. Base. Free card, yay. It's really annoying. Yeah, it's just that. Yep. Oh. Here, it doesn't feel the best, but you had a chance just to remove his board and kill the the K-Star. Just because so if you L-Strike Kira, you bounce this back to your hand and you just trade this, right? But what that means is that you still have a Sword Strike here that's just chilling and they'll have nothing on board. But because you didn't kill anything, because I don't know why you just play passive, like it's just a bad play playing passive here. They could damage your Air Strike, they could damage your Sword Strike, they could damage your Lift Rift, and then they could just like ping about at aces or close combats and whatnot. So I don't know why you just AFK here. If you wanted to AFK, then the better play is just to go... Wait, what the heck? Oh my god, and you use your EX resource. Alright, this is all up terrible. Like, the next turn you could have played Justice or Freedom and Kira into one of these guys, but you use the EX resource. Now you're one turn behind to play these fat bodies. Like, if you want to leave yourself standing, then it's just Striker Pack, Lift Rift, right? And then you have one for naval bombardment to protect from the blockers. Like, that might actually even be a better play than Kira L Strike, to be honest. But he has a lot of cards at hand, so I would just get rid of it. I'll just make the game simple and just bounce and get rid of the L Strike, Kira and the K-Star. But yeah, here, if you just want to store and par, you just play Striker Pack and Lift Rift and hold a naval bombardment, because when this attacks, you can naval bombardment one of these blockers and just block with it and just do a clean 2-for-2 trade there anyway. Like, you have like a billion options and you probably chose like one of the worst ones. Yep, so now he gets rid of your base, he plays another one, he can ping a Sword Strike. You can play a Harmon, ping a Sword Strike, yep, pings it, dies, choose one unit. Oh, it's a used side deck. Do 1 damage to it, you just lost 10 billion value. And now you have to deal with this board, right? Well, now I have to get L Strike Kira, bounce back this one, swing into here. L Strike Kira, no, Amare. Oh, it's so weird. For L Strike Kira, I'll hit this. Oh, everything just dies. This whole situation sucks now. Yeah, that one turn literally like probably lost in this game for sure, for sure. Let me bounce that. We'll body bounce that one. Yep. Swing here. Oh no, swing here. Nice, good job. So it only takes 2 damage, and this will swing here. Taking nothing. I'll do the trade. Just lost so much value though. Like, chess pieces, like we said last video, right? Chess pieces. You now have 6 cards and 2 on the field. They have like, they have 10. They literally have 10 cards in hand. One battle at aces makes it that you have half your board now. Take. Damn, it's like a mid-range aggro deck. Okay, that's cool. Alright, he cooked you there. Yep, you play Justice, Lift Rift. Oh, Rick Diaz, sure. Rick Diaz is better there, not bad. Swing. Now you just pause and camp and chill, show resolve, resources, play another body and just chill. You go attack with this as well. Oh, nice. Okay, I do like that you're not giving up free cards anymore, even if what you're on the back foot, that's fine. But yeah, that's okay. Yep, he has full board, you have no way to get rid of this. I'll deal with this unless you draw a base. Or you have a base. You want one thing, Social Pack, 4. I probably should just play Freedom now. Just because you have the space too. And Freedom can't get a Mara raid. And the next thing you go Freedom into Striker Pack as well. Hmm. Cooked. Cooked. Oh, you silly. You should attach it here. Oh well. That's a misclick. That's okay. That's fine. That situation's fine. Okay, let's say this is gone and this is rested, right? You have 2 blockers, okay? This is cancelled, this is rested. Let's just assume that. Block. Rabu. Okay, one link could just die, right? Yeah, one link just die. Hmm. Am I right? Oh, okay. Wait, what the? Wait. Wait, what? Like, that makes no sense. Okay, this only makes sense if he has, like, nuke spells, like, to, like, give up stuff for no reason. Oh my god, wait, you're back in the game. Nice. 4 blocks. Okay, 3 blocks. Alright, it's cooked. Yeah, it's cooked. Oops. Yeah, so, like I said, this game, 1 turn of misplays can cost you the game. And this, what's the word? This costs you the game. Breaking the EX resource, not using Strike to Kira, and like kind of lost to the game. There is an argument that just going Lift Ref Striker Pack for Naval Bombardment is better. It's just that it's kind of prone to. It's very prone to K-Star ping this one and then play another K-Star, ping this one, and they get way too much value. So that's why I would keep this game simple and just make sure not to get pinged another time. Especially with like Ekaz at hand. He has to have like 2 K-Stars and 2 Marine Cruisers, which is true, but you know, I want to get rid of all the variants. So this Striker Pack could be like a high risk, high play, I guess. But this is the safest play and the most simplest play, and this is probably the play I'll do, just to prevent any more pings. But yeah, this whole turn was like in shambles, because technically you should be able to play Justice turn earlier, or your Freedom a turn earlier. And if you want to play your Freedom turn earlier, then you can do the blocker play. If you had accounted for the if you accounted for the Freedom Kira Yamato turn, but you didn't account for that because you used the EX resource. So all that doesn't matter, and that play was just bad. But yeah, that whole turn like kind of cooked everything. Honestly, other than that, I think everything else was pretty fine. Like the misclick was bad, but I also always misclick, so it's fine. Yeah, that'll be the end of this one until further notice. But yeah, just I don't know, just like I guess identifying the urgency to get rid of something, and like the value of actually having blockers up compared to just getting rid of stuff. Because the idea was I have triple blocker, right? but none of it can kill off K-Star Marina Cruise anyway. And you didn't leave one resource open up for naval bombardment, so well, like what's the point, right? Yeah. Like, just try to keep in mind efficiency and trading pieces. Gundam TCG is usually so fundamental based as all trading pieces usually, and if this board can't do any favorable trades, then it probably is the wrong play, or it's probably your only play. But it wasn't your only play because you have all these tools. Yeah, that's it for that one. If you guys liked the video and enjoyed it, let me know. I probably sidetracked, yapped a lot, said a lot of ums and likes, but it is what it is. I'm not too fussed about that, okay. But yeah, bye.